Yes, shout out to the intro. Welcome to Rich Talks, podcast where we do music commentary, cultural commentary, deep dives, and just interesting topics in general. I'm your host, Ankh, aka Ree. Now let's get into it. You know, it's always good to like take time for yourself. You know, like mental health breaks are very important, especially when it affects your thoughts, your feelings or behaviors. And you know, for those of you that have been listening to me for a while, you know that I'm always kind of alluding to something with my opening statements. And so I think we need to just get straight into it. Like we got to talk about the brother Kanye West. Like, what is up with him, man? Yo, like, you know what? I'm not even gonna start there. Like, I'm not even gonna start there. But like, something's definitely strange with him, man. Like, but at the same time, if you really look at all the antics he's pulled over the years, this is right up Kanye's alley, man. Like, this is Kanye 101, really. Like, Kanye kind of like reminds me of a pimp or even like a predatory church pastor in a way. Like the how and why is based around all of these individual archetypes and whatnot essentially make their money or make their bones, if you will, through the peddling of and pimping of trauma and fear. And whether it's their own or if it's other people's traumas and fears. But that's still what they kind of peddle and play off of in order to kind of to control the masses and whatever, control narratives or control whatever control. It's just for control, I guess, you know, in a way. Just control your thoughts, control your feelings, you know, just shit like that. Like it feels at times like Kanye, he kind of always like will pop up to say something wild or inflammatory, or he'll do something that's like so egregious that like even the people who pretty much support him through most of his other antics, even they have to kind of like take a step back for their own mental health. Like, it's like, yo, this got too far. I can't continue like this. Like, it's crazy. So today I kind of wanted to do a bit of a deep dive on some of Kanye's wildest moments. Cause like if we did do like a full deep dive into like everything about him, we would be here for a while. Like, honestly, but I just want to show y'all that in certain ways, Kanye has kind of been showing us who he is, whether that's through his own lyrics or just the behaviors, that he's a person that is flawed and someone that's been drowning in childhood trauma that he has yet to address. Like his most recent antics on social media, I believe that's the smoking gun right there. Like that proves that he has just so much unresolved childhood trauma that he has to get over or deal with. You know, like so to start off with like one of his many controversies, like just from his beginnings, right? The many controversies of Kanye to the, anyways, starting from like basically the fashion forward, pink polo rockin' producer that essentially annoyed his way into a rap deal. And when I say annoyed, I'm not even being hyperbolous. Like, he really did. Like, Kanye would literally parade around Rockefeller HQ with a big ass boombox, blasting his own music, you know, like essentially kind of rapping his way into a record deal, sort of. Like, remember in that Kanye documentary Genius, they did about him, where they showed like old footage of him and how he had like the wherewithal early just to kind of record some of that wild stuff he did in those offices. Remember that one scene where he apparently walked around the office playing All Falls Down, and at the time people in the office kind of didn't like react like this song would become a big hit? Well, that context, Wayno, shout outs to Wayno, he's been like in the industry for quite some time now. Like, y'all should actually check out his show. I'll do it myself. It's pretty good. Wayno has some really great industry stories, right? Anyways, it was revealed by Wayno that Kanye decided to play All Falls Down in the Rockefeller office with his camera crew at least like 10 times in a row, right? And the reaction you're going to have to hearing like a song for the 10th time and hearing a song for the first time are going to be wildly different from each other, right? And the fact that Kanye, he kind of made sure that the camera crew was constantly filming for people's reactions shows kind of how calculated he was already that early, you know, like, because obviously you're going to have some people who are only hearing the song for the first time and they're going to react as such, right? And while the ones who are in the office and they have a more subdued reaction, like, oh my god, not you again, why are you playing this again, type of reaction, you know? I'm not even gonna lie, it was a pretty effective marketing plan. Like, I don't think people really realize how intelligent Kanye actually can be. Like, sure, he's not one to kind of follow the norms of what you would consider someone who's quite intelligent, or he'll tend to be like really extremely over the top with some of his antics. But sometimes you just gotta admit, like, sometimes Kanye really is a genius at the things he does, and that really does include pissing people off, while simultaneously making them reorganize the way that they view certain things or people, right? Now, clearly there's no way that I'm going to agree with everything that he says or does, right? But there's definitely some genius hidden behind all of that crazy, what we call crazy, because the antics are wild, right? It's like, it's something that you wouldn't think to do in the real world, right? It's something you might see in the movies or cartoons or whatnot, but and that's why we would classify it as crazy. But there is some hidden genius there, like, because the man cannot be canceled. Like, I think a lot of you see it too, but like, it's just the inflammatory and kind of rage baiting ways that sometimes he chooses to express some of the things that he says is, in a way, that's also genius. Like, it really is. Like, in a way, it's also genius. But it's also kind of ironic, because during that whole fiasco at the Rockefeller Studios, Kanye was at the time technically already signed to the label as a rapper. So, however, now this is where kind of I feel like the politics and predatory business practices of certain labels kind of comes into play, or maybe I should say of the industry comes into play, right? Because Kanye was signed as a rapper at the time of him trying to push the song and playing it over and over again in the offices, right? But he already had like a producer deal before that, right? However, the reason they even chose to sign him was just so they could really maintain that access to his beats, right? Like, on one of those, yeah, guys, just sign him as a rapper, so we'll just shelve his stuff, you know, like, just make sure that we still have access to his beats, right? Like, that'll placate him for now. Like, but I'll say this, Kanye, like, has production credits as far back as like Jay-Z's The Blueprint album. Like, that's how long this guy's been around. Like, he's been around, and I don't know if he'll even admit to it himself, but he must have literally taken some of the lessons that he learned, I feel like he did at Rockefeller HQ, regarding some of the some of the shady business moves, because he technically kind of ended up doing the same thing when he started his Good Music label. Good was an acronym for Getting Out Our Dreams, right? Which is a dope message, like a really dope message to have for a label that was supposed to be about the artist first, right? But in the end, most people who were signed to Good Music, pretty much almost all ended up with like either simple writing credits for Kanye's projects, or whenever they finally did get to release an album, the marketing just wasn't there for them. Like it was there for Kanye. Anytime a Kanye project was happening, that's where the budget's going. Like using all the artists, and he's also using all the artists to their full capacity. So they're working on his projects, but not their own. Like whether that's songwriting for Kanye or making some productions for him, editing some of his beats, doing some vocals, like this and that. Kanye is like a composer when it comes to like production, so he tends to involve a lot of people, just like maybe for a certain sound, just so he can get your voice doing this or that and the third. Like it's really dope, but like in a way, like even then, like he'll even use those artist connections to like other individuals as maybe like as a wedge or even as a bridge to access those other individuals. Because honestly, I truly believe that Kanye rubs some people the wrong way with his behavior. And you know, in business, it only kind of takes like one bad interaction to destroy a deal, right? Because like that can snowball into a whole blackballing thing, right? It's like, I'm gonna make a couple of phone calls and now nobody's gonna want to work with you, blah blah blah. But honestly, I'm not even gonna associate the issue that Good Music went through solely to Kanye West, because it's really, to me, it's really just like a repeating cycle sometimes, isn't it? Like Kanye got signed to a label that was created by an artist, and the majority of the label's resources would go to that label's boss because he was also an active artist. And I just don't think I just think that sometimes it's harder to manage a label when the people that you're signing to, like the people you're signing deals to, are essentially, they're your peers or even their potential rivals. Like it's almost Machiavellian, the way that some artists will start a label and sign other artists only to like subvert or stunt the growth of that artist, because all of the talent that individual could be bringing is now freely given away to that label boss, who is also an artist, or maybe the new signee will be used as a tool or a scapegoat or shield when the main artist is maybe catching way too much heat from possibly another rival. An example that for me that comes to mind is the early stages of Nas and Jay-Z's iconic beef, right? It was all kind of like subtle jabs and subliminals, really, until Jay essentially kind of used his protege, Memphis Bleek, as kind of like a child soldier or mercenary of rap, you know, to kind of get at Nas in a more direct way rather than being so subliminal with his shots, until eventually like it all came to a head and he had to get direct. They both had to get direct with each other. Like it's crazy, honestly, because just thinking about it, for me, if I was in those positions, I don't think I would create the label, or at least make myself the head of the label, if I'm still an active artist in the same musical rat race as the individuals I'm trying to sign, right? Like that's some monopoly shit to me. Like, cause you know competition spurs growth, right? And if someone is recruiting their competition, in a similar fashion to like how Golden State recruited Kevin Durant after his OKC Thunder team almost took their asses out. Like, it's just like it kind of takes the wind out of the sails. You know what I mean? Like, because like Kanye has always had this almost this irreverent relationship with Jay-Z. Like he made a song dedicated to him called Big Brother. and not for nothing, but like I just feel like it's a callback to Kanye's childhood in a way. Like maybe he never really had that big brother growing up, and when he finally found that, or he thought he finally found that in Jay-Z, and someone he could kind of look up to as an example to follow to be successful. Like, Kanye, you're not even that much younger than Jay-Z. You're 47. Like, Jay-Z's like 50. Like, what is this? Like, why do you look up to him like he's 10 or 20 years your senior? Like, it's weird. Anyway, sorry, but I really think that I just feel like Jay-Z's just the wrong role model. Like, for everyone. Like, honestly, he has an entire history of shady. You know what? Let's just move on, because honestly, this is about Ye and not Jay, right? Because I'm gonna go off on a different tangent and like it'll turn into a Jay-Z episode, and like no, we're talking Kanye controversies, right? Okay, so the next big controversy that I kind of wanted to touch on was when Kanye uttered that now infamous line on TV that George Bush doesn't care about black people. During a telethon to like raise money for Hurricane Katrina survivors, right? Now that was quite the political statement back in 2005, like when he dropped that line, and the look on Mike Myers' face was like it was like the collective reaction of all the George Bush voters at the time. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, whether you agreed or disagreed with the line at the time, he was telling the truth, honestly. Like, that entire Bush administration completely shit the bed when it came to the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. And it was just horribly handled, guys. It was just horribly handled. At the time, to me, that was Kanye's most pro-black moments, right? And maybe it was like not even just a moment. That was like a phase when he was in pro-black, you know? Because I feel like after that, it was just, I don't know. I think that I feel like it might have only stemmed from the fact that maybe his mom was still alive at that time, right? And it almost feels like this was the most authentic version of Kanye that we were ever introduced to. Like he was so unfiltered, you know, so raw, you know, so lucid, if you will. That was really like a simpler time, because now he seems so far removed from that version of himself. Like maybe addictions, like maybe stress and trauma, it could have like done a number on it, on his mental health, right? And we already know, just like as black men, when it comes to our mental health, for a long time we were taught to suppress things as much as possible. Like anything that may be seen as soft or weak. And I don't blame anyone in particular, because I think that behavior was birthed from a need for survival in an America that kind of sought to control the birth rate of black people through different but non-violent methods. You know, like the I'll use the welfare system as an example. Like, the welfare system basically rewarded black women for not having black fathers in the home, you know? It almost felt like, you know, it was one of those, Oh, don't you worry about building a black family, ma'am. Just go ahead and have the babies out of wedlock. The government will pay for each child that you have as long as there's no man in the house with you. Okay? All right. Now, make sure that you teach your children so they repeat the cycle too. You know what I'm saying? All right, but like, no, what is wrong with you? All right, listen. I'm not saying that Kanye's outbursts and episodes can all be like blamed on some mental health episode or some drug-induced psychosis or like anything of that sort, but just from the history of black mental health and in America, it's really hard for me to associate all the blame on this man. Like, life stresses us out in ways, and it's like and how we react to those stressors. It's impossible to predict that because everyone's body is different and everyone just reacts to stress in different ways, right? Now, what about the infamous VMAs incident with Taylor Swift and Beyonce? Right? I don't know about y'all, but to me, this one had conspiracy theory dripping all over it. Like, so first, let's break down how the whole incident went down, right? Before Kanye had even like got on stage, from the moment of him being on the red carpet that evening with Amber Rose, we could already kind of tell that there was some bullshit going on, man. Like, the man arrived on the red carpet with a giant bottle of Hennessy, weird haircut. Like, this man looked like that was just a weird haircut. Like, Hennessy that he was drinking by himself. Like, he basically had the crash out energy about him before the show had even started, right? Then, when it was announced that Taylor had won Video of the Year, Kanye took it upon himself to like walk up on stage as Taylor began her acceptance speech. Kanye grabbed the mic and uttered the now infamous line, "Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." Here's what my weird conspiratorial mind came up with, though. Like, you know how like you end up going down these rabbit holes when you like looking back in hindsight about how things were and how we got here. You know, my weird conspiratorial mind, the gears just start going. So, again, this is just my opinion. This is just my weird conspiracy theory brain. There's no basis. There's no facts in this one, so just bear with me. So anyway, I think Kanye used himself as a self-sacrifice while simultaneously kind of working as the mouthpiece for Jay-Z's real message, right? And by him being so willing to go that far for someone who is not even his wife, that plus his whole big brother devotion to Jay-Z, that was probably the one piece of currency or leverage that Kanye had that made Jay-Z go, all right, you know what? We can make an album. We can make an album together, you know? Because Watch the Throne literally came out like maybe 2 years after the VMAs incident, and 1 year after Kanye's My Dark Beautiful Twisted Fantasy, which, by the way, Kanye had a song on there calling himself a dickhead and an asshole, and I don't know, almost like some sacrificial shit, self-sacrifice type shit. But you know, my whole point of this is that Kanye has an obsession issue, right? Like once he locks in on someone, he's obsessed about. Like, it's like full speed ahead, no matter how wild it may end up, or no matter what potential consequences it may garner, and then eventually it's almost like Kanye finally wakes up out of his own self-imposed exile, and he'll start going after the same people he revered or embraced previously. You know, Jay-Z once again comes to mind as a great example. Why? Because in one of his most recent rants on X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, Kanye got a little bit candid in his explanation about his thoughts and feelings on Jay-Z. It's like this is a recent diatribe that Kanye went on. Now this is all quotes, and it's in all caps. So if I start yelling, then just know that it's because the tweet is in all caps. I love Jay-Z, and I do feel bad. I always felt like the black sheep, like I wanted family in this music shit. I'd run on stages thinking I was doing the right thing, and would always be a slight. Hove not coming to my first wedding, him putting Kendrick on the Super Bowl over me, or even us never being invited to shit, taking jabs about my red hat on Donda. I felt like both him and his wife could have helped me have more leverage with my kids. They could have used their cultural position to not just watch the Kardashians run me over. Shit hurts, so fuck both of them, cause when I needed them, it was fuck me. Why you say fuck me for? Kanye, he not only has an obsession issue, but I feel like he also heavily lacks in the accountability department. Because like literally bringing all your grievances with your friends to the public for them to see it is just a horrible look. Like the optics alone are just bad. And it's probably part of the reason why so many people that used to be Team Kanye have left his side. Or just like don't say anything publicly in support of him. Like, you know, like he talks so much about Jay-Z using him as a person of convenience, but like, what about you, Kanye? What about you? Like, what happened to Kid Cudi's style that you happened to steal for 808s and Heartbreak? Huh? Or what about all the raps that you had, that you had GLC write for you? Whatever happened to GLC? What about Sci-Hi the Prince? Like, did Sci-Hi become the replacement for GLC after he went out? Like, bro, how come you're a billionaire and these guys don't get paid? What's up with that, Ye? Like, maybe you did learn more from Jay-Z than you thought, right? Also, I don't think you can have any leg to stand on when you literally sent out a tweet on X stating that the reason that nobody sees Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger twin children is because they are retarded. Like, who says that? Especially about children. Not like, fuck out of here. Like, come on, man. Nah. No. Like, no, bro. Even if they are, like, you don't reveal that to the world when they have it. The hell? That's crazy. Anyways. How about, speaking of, like, his tweets, like, how about, his whole random bipolar messaging on, like, different albums? Right? Like, for example, in 2018, his messaging was, she's a hoe, and I love it. And then in 2019, the messaging was, Jesus is king. Then in 2022, it turned into, we need to ban porn. Bro, now in 2025, yo, it's, my name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's penis until I was 14. Hey, yo. I was uncomfortable just saying that. That was so uncomfortable. What? Yo, Kanye, man. Yo, you need to come to the front of the congregation. We need to have a word, man. What? Yo, I might have to get into a deep dive on that later, but like, yo, that was bro. Obviously, that's something you can't just gloss over because he sent out many tweets, but that one was just, yo, that one had like a lot of us thinking and talking. Like, you end up down a rabbit hole, and once again, you see some patterns. You know, like with every woman that Kanye has publicly been with, it's almost felt like Kanye is obsessed with making sure that other people want or show that they would smash his woman. Like, all eyes have to be on his girl. He did it with Amber. He did it with Kim, for sure. Like, remember that the Naked magazine cover she did? And of course, he openly does it with his current wife, Bianca, who also has an uncanny resemblance to Kim. Both definitely saying something about Kanye's type. Anyways, he said so many inflammatory things that a normal person would probably find kind of difficult coming back from, right? But he's kind of proving that he's just uncancelable. Like, really and truly, like, the man literally went on an anti-Semitic tirade, even dropping a song called Heil Hitler.
What?
Bruh, I'm not even gonna lie. This man is a literal genius when it comes to music composition. Seriously, like, especially that second half of the song when the beat switches up and it's just, yo, it's so orchestral. Like, yo, Kanye's a genius, man. Yo, I'm sorry, but that shit slaps, yo. I mean, I absolutely cannot condone a song that keeps repeating all my niggas Nazis, like hell to the nah. Like, no, that's oxymoronic. Nazis didn't even like black people either, so fuck out of here. But big but to shoot Kanye some bail here, as an artist, he's doing what he is supposed to be doing, and that's pushing the envelope. He's making people think outside of the norm, outside of the box. It's sparking conversation, which is good, right? Because with that one song, he kind of exposed the entire music industry as being fake edgy and even kind of restrictive and very unfair. Very unfair. Like, I read a tweet where someone had basically said something along the lines of, if you say Hail Satan in a song, the industry's like, oh yeah, no problem at all. We'll keep marketing that. You can play that all over, any platform you want. But the moment Kanye dropped the song saying Hail Hitler, suddenly the gloves come off. Suddenly the song is removed from all streaming platforms. Suddenly he needs to be canceled. However, the thing about people is, the more you try to take something away from us, right, the more we're just gonna want to consume it. And once again, I don't agree with the lyrics, but goddamn, the song is fucking catchy, guys. Oh my god. Like, he also kind of exposed that the heads of the music industry are pretty much all run by members of the Jewish community. I'm sorry. Like, it just seems, because, like, you can go in on everyone else, but you aren't allowed to say anything that would cast any type of dark shadow over the optics of Jews or the Jewish people. And that just seems way too unfair. Because think about it, Jews are not a race. You guys are a religion. So how come every other religion is it's a free for all if someone wants to talk shit, but not for the Jewish faith? That doesn't make sense to me, you know? Like, like, come on. How come in comedy it's everyone can get these jokes, but why does that not apply everywhere? Like, where's the actual freedom of speech there, right? How is that freedom of speech if you're so quick to suppress Kanye's freedom of expressing this song, which, again, like, the lyrics are crazy. So, how do you make all my niggas Nazis sound catchy? That's fucking crazy, man. It's a bit genius, but like, yo, it's catchy, and he's showing that, right? He's showing that there really is fake freedom of speech, fake freedom of expression, because one group apparently sits at the top and just runs everything. Like, no, I don't think we want that one pushed. Like, we're gonna pull that. And also, like, it starts getting me down the rabbit hole of like, yo, how come, like, when it comes to that, like, for example, you can't say things like that are detrimental to the Jewish faith, but like, how come when it comes to music where we're constantly saying the N-word and constantly showcasing, oh, nigga this, nigga that, I killed 300 niggas the other day, like, oh my god, like, degeneracy, constantly pushing degeneracy, like, oh yeah, no, keep it up, let's push that on all platforms, let's put that on the radio and play it 500 times. Like, y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see that? Like, it's crazy, man. They're playing in your face. They're playing in your face and expecting you not to see that, right? Like, yo, like, even after just throwing the man some bail, though, it's clear that all of these recent antics and like the inflammatory statements and behaviors was once again just another plea for attention or help or love from Kanye. You know, because as of the recording of this episode, honestly, yo, this man tweeted out that after finally getting to see and speak to his kids on FaceTime, he suddenly wants to save the world again. Went up and sent out a whole bunch of messages saying, share peace. God calls for peace. I forgive those who have caused me pain. God forgive me for those I have caused pain. I love all people, and I'm done with anti-Semitism.
What?
Like, does anyone feel like this guy's just playing in our face sometimes the same way that the industry establishment was playing in his face by removing his song from all platforms and whatnot? Like, come on, man. You always seem to like, he always seems to like kind of activate his fan base, or more specifically, black people in general, whenever he's going through something, right? And personally, with some people, like, he's going through something personally with some people who are always unnamed, and he uses that to rile up black people and his other fans into a frenzy to go after these people, to make a change until he gets what it is he wants, and then it's back to the status quo. And usually what he wanted is like the most minuscule thing that could have been resolved with a conversation. I don't know, man. Like, sometimes Kanye's he's just too Kanye for me, you know what I mean? Like, yo, damn, man. Shit. This guy got me off my square. I'm like freaking yelling into the mic and shit. It's crazy. And you know, I was actually gonna get into like more controversies that he's like been involved in over the years, but honestly, I feel like that may need to be on like a part 2. Cause like, man, there's so much going on right now in hip hop, you know? Like, there's just so much going on in the industry right now. So much needs to be said, and that I can't just fit it all in this one episode. I don't want to fit it all in this one episode, because each topic is it's deserving of its own episode, because it's just gonna end up diluting the message of the current episode, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially something as big as like the Diddy trial going on right now. And I'll just say, I got a lot to say about that one. There's a lot to be said on that one. Also, the Tory Lanez and Meg situation, yo, I'm just gonna say, free Tory. And again, I'll get into that in a separate episode of its own, because that is also such a wild saga of events. But yeah, man, I'm gonna leave it at that. That for now. Like, it's good to be back. That's all I'll say. Like, hopefully I won't be taking another of these random impromptu breaks from recording episodes for long ass time, you know. But I can't guarantee it. Obviously, life happens. Come on, guys. Sometimes we need to take a mental health break. Allow me. But honestly, I'm gonna try to be more on top of things with the episodes, be more consistent for y'all, because I truly do appreciate every one of y'all who watches and listens to the podcast. Honestly, it's truly a wonderful feeling. Yeah, with that, signing off. Salute to the outro. Peace.